allergic to apples.
And I happen to love apples. I developed a later in life.
And nuts, like the only two things I eat all day. But I don't really get much of a chance to eat because we go straight. All right, let's get some questions. Let's say hi to some people. Ask me anything.
So first of all,
should we reset?
Reset. What's the most important news event of the day? Hint: there's a
most important news event of the day.
All news. I mean, yeah, news. It could be sports.
Well, what are we all talking about? Two things: Game 7 tonight, and Game All next week, next Tuesday night.
Those are two big games.
Two big games.
Which one do you think is going to be more competitive, the election or?
I think the election is going to be competitive. And I got to tell you, coming from a news organization, there's a certain excitement, fervor, zeal. There's a certain like anxiety, and it starts super early on election day for news coverage, right? So you come in that day knowing you're going to be there for a long time. So you are like, you packed your snacks, you know, you've like made arrangements for the sitters at home. Like, you don't know when you're getting out.
Where are you watching the election?
So we were going to have an election party, but you know, the two of us fall asleep at like 9. But we're going to be up all night, and we're going to try to have maybe, if Steph doesn't have to work, she might be on call that night. It is really an all hands on deck situation. You wouldn't think so, but it is all hands on deck. If she has to work, then I will keep those girls up, and we're going to watch like this. No, I will, I'll end up watching.
What time do you think the election is going to be decided on?
Not till 2 days after.
Do you think that
There's no way you're going to sleep Tuesday night knowing who the president-elect is.
Do you think Hillary's going to accept the results if Donald Trump wins?
I think Donald Trump will accept the results if Donald Trump wins.
Do you think Hillary will accept the results if Donald Trump wins?
I think she will.
John wants to know how you hold up with so little sleep.
I would say not well. I think I do great. Steph needs like 8 hours of sleep. I can get by on 4 hours. I slept 3 hours last night, got up, did an hour-long class at 6 this morning. I'm doing this show for 4 hours. I have a big meeting today at 3:30, and then I'm taking another class tonight at 6:30, a rowing class. Crazy. And then I'm going to hopefully
Why is
sleep.
rowing like so popular?
It became popular from House of Cards, I think. Popular. It's a very good full-body sport. So Brian Gallagher, who did the Simple Man's Diet, we did a class this morning. One of the things we did, we were side by side on the rowers. We had to do 4 sets of 30 seconds. So 30 seconds on, 10 off, 30 seconds on, 10 off. And he looks at me and he goes, try to get 150 meters. No problem. First set, all out, 100% if you're a rower. My stroke rate was at like 25. My split was at like 150, 145, 150 meters. Take a 10-second rest. It felt like 1 second. They go, start again. I was like, what? Kept going. And Brian was like a machine. He has a strategy. He is certified to like teach rowing. I'm not. I'm just a lunatic. Anyway, he blew me away on the rowers. And then we got to Bosu ball mountain climbers. So you know those balance balls? You're balanced on the Bosu ball, and you have to do mountain climbers. I once sat down and did 1,000 mountain climbers. Literally, I did 10 cents of 100. It's no problem for me. And I looked over, and Brian got a little tired. What? Brian got a little tired, came up short on a couple of them. Evened out. And the last big thing at the end was this AMRAP, right? As many rounds as possible. So you get 3 exercises, 10 reps of each, and you have to see how many rounds of them you can get in 5 straight minutes. The instructor says, see if you can get 4. So in my head, I said, okay, I have to get 6. So I looked at Brian and said, how many do you want to get? He's like, well, what's your number? I go, 6. He goes, mine is 6. It was hard. And then at the very end, like, everyone else was quiet. There's a picture of us on Instagram, collapsed on the ground, like literally passed out on the floor afterwards. But we had a good time, and we're very competitive with each other. But Lance, I'm sure you're allergic to it, he did give me a great, if anyone's doing this diet that we're doing, a great recipe.
Oh, let me get another nut apple recipe that will actually...
it's like a pumpkin custard. Can you do it?
Pumpkin custard?
Yeah.
How do you do custard?
You take pumpkin with 2 like mashed bananas. Can you do bananas?
Yeah, yeah.
With 2 mashed bananas and some cinnamon and another spice. I didn't look at you blend it, mix it together. You put it in the oven for like whatever it is, 30 minutes, and
I
then
don't
you
have
put
a
it in the
blender.
refrigerator.
I guess I need to get a blender.
Get a hand blender for
You can
like
just-
50,
yeah.
$40 or whatever it is. Anyway, who's here? Who's in the house?
Do you use sunscreen?
I know. I use sunscreen on my face.
John
but
is nervous about you.
John, you're right. I really need to use sunscreen on my arms. That's what I need to do. Okay, go on.
Okay, so let me just, so we have a couple of questions here. Sean is actually asking how we book our guests. So the process is, I try to find people who I think are interesting, or topics and themes that are interesting. We try to follow them on the on Twitter, on the Twitter page, and we start there. Plus, we reach out to people that we know, but we try to build the community internally through the Jenna Wolfe Show Twitter page.
So if you're interested, reach out to us. That's everybody.
You want to know, Shauna is interested in how we make money. We are actually in the middle of rolling out our sponsorship program.
Come sponsor us.
Come sponsor us if you want. We are starting to accept sponsorships next week. So.
Don't you want me just talking about your thing? Like, what if you sell toothpicks? I don't want to use anyone's toothpick except Shauna's. They're the best toothpicks
Shauna picks.
ever.
The
Shauna
Shauna
picks.
picks. The wood picks. Those are.
I could sell anyone anything.
We're gonna do wood picks. Marvin Kirschenbaum says hello.
Hi, Marvin.
So just to delve into politics a little bit though.
Okay, let me toss this and let's go do politics. Hold on.
So the way I want to do this segment of the show,
Okay, here we go.
News, is go into the news section. This is basically things that are live going on right now. Today is National Stress Awareness Day.
Oh, okay.
There's politics, but I want to basically, these are the first things that pop up. So how do you deal with stress?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. How do you deal with stress in
I
your
usually
life?
via exercise or I have this amazing guru therapist kind of person, and stress is always its worst, you know, when you're in it. But if you can wait 5 minutes before reacting, stress gets better. So the minute something happens where the first thing I want to do is like, holy, are you joking? Are you? And my thumbs get in the angry position and my face gets in the, and I'm ready, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. If I still feel the same stress, anxiety, and rage in 5 minutes, I'll let myself write that email. Otherwise, I don't write it. 5 minutes, that's it. And you'd be surprised how often that just actually cools and calms me down waiting. Good answer, good answer. We're gonna go with 5 minutes. Show me 5 minutes, and survey says second most popular answer.
Okay, next thing that's going on, vote Trump.
Are you looking through the trending list?
Yeah. So last night, a black church in Greenville, Mississippi, was burned and then tagged with vote Trump. This has become a very popular trending thing.
It's awful.
So, and now there's a debate here almost. Some people are saying that some people tried to, they're blaming some white supremacists, and then some people are saying that this is part of the Clinton Dirty Tricks campaign. That they would actually.
How are we supposed to know? Like, how are we supposed to believe anything anymore? You know, she's created an environment which makes it very difficult to believe, you know, anything that she tries to paint as genuine, right? But at the same time, he has definitely incited these really hateful, awful white supremacist groups. You know, there was this came up a couple weeks ago with the rowdiness
right.
of the debates, inciting fighting at this. Some blamed there was someone from the.
And then there was
Clintons.
also this whole thing with Donna Brazile.
Don't get me started on the Donna Brazile. You're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Lance. There's no reason why that shouldn't have gotten more publicity, and maybe it didn't from the media because she was a fellow Mediaite, but it should have.
So John from Cherry Hill is saying that he doesn't denounce the groups, but
You mean Trump doesn't denounce the groups?
right. And why do you think?
That's the problem.
Well, strategically, why do you think he wouldn't be denouncing the groups?
Because they're part of his base, and he needs numbers, and he needs votes. And do I believe that he feels that way? No. His
Right.
daughter is Jewish. Like, he is constantly, trust me, I've interacted with him enough times in my professional past to know that...
You interviewed him once,
I've
right?
interviewed him, super nice guy, really nice guy to me, very genuine, you know, very like gracious with his time and energy and all of it, and didn't have to be. It was like a throwaway interview, and he really gave us a lot of time. And I mean, I'll just say it, there were a lot of African Americans in the office, like people he talked to. He knew everyone's name. We got in the elevator. Excuse me, he knew the elevator operator's name. Got out of his car, he knew the driver's name. Like, you know, I just think that he's trying to just keep his base because he knows he needs every single vote, and so he doesn't denounce it, and in so doing turns off a lot of people, and it also, you know, incites a lot of people. And so you have, I mean, it also, like, you know, sort of collects these groups, these pockets, and
actually it sort of stated that, I'm gonna read two tweets here that are two of the more popular tweets. They come back to back. So one is from Deplorable Trumpkin. How much you want to bet a Dem is behind this cowardly act? Anyone who wants Trump elected knows this wouldn't help. And then the next person is, as a person of faith and a person of color, I find this unconscionable. Never, time to double down, never Trump. Like, they're using the same event.
Yep, they're both using, and the same, almost the same.
Same piece of news is just pivoting. Everybody's so split down the middle.
Right, and what's the
on
result?
Any event.
It's ugly.
There's a lot of hatred, and there's going to have to, I think, be a lot of leadership next week, no matter what, to make sure that the country comes together.
I gotta tell you, like, I don't envy either of them. This is going to be a country divided, and it's going to take a lot of work in and out of Congress to try to bring the country together. I mean, we're at a place now where very, very little gets done because everyone within the government and outside the government is so divided.
And what do you think the role of journalists? How do you think of the role that journalists are playing in this election?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, maybe I'm alone in this. I don't think they're playing any differently than they played in elections past. You know that Fox is gonna lean Republican. You know that NBC tends to lean Democrat. You know that CNN, for the most part, has been somewhere in between. Although everyone can argue something different. I'm sure someone's going to jump in and be like, "No, you're crazy." That's just sort of the way it's been, I think. So I don't know that I don't know that we play as big a role as both Trump and Clinton have accused us, or at least Trump has, of playing. I am curious to know if he is going to start that network of his.
If he's going to be elected, I think he'd have a hard time.
Correct.
Unless maybe they even
think about this though. If he is elected, this is his home. Do you know what traffic is going to be like in Manhattan? Can you even imagine what it's going to be like when he's in town?
If he's elected, can you imagine how much his properties are going to be worth? If he does a good job in 4 years?
Well, that's so many ifs. The last if was a real big one.
No, but if he does
the first
a good job,
if was
I mean,
huge
like,
if he gets elected. The second one was ginormous if he does a really great job. Those ifs, those are like swollen ifs injected with steroids.
Well, so somebody here is saying, John is saying he won't be elected.
Okay, but my point is, anyone that lives on the west side is never going to get to the east side. Fifth Avenue is going to be blocked. There's going to be like a force field. It's going to be like a Superman force field around all the Trump places.
Actually, Shauna Witt, she is saying, haha, Witt Picks. Have you registered that yet? We should make sure to get on that and have Witt Picks as one of our sponsors. Not only do our sponsorship program is we create the products for you.
We create the products, we name the products, we hashtag the products, and we give the products back to you.
Back to you. You're the owner.
Money,
somebody on the show, go get it. As long as you're making money, we're happy.
Yeah.
Amy Walter says, hey Jenna from Tampa. The media people on stations like NBC talk about their personal political views with each other off camera, or is it always neutral and professional? I've always wondered.
I mean, of course we do. We are colleagues the way any office are colleagues, right? So you work for X company, you go into a big meeting and no one's really going to voice their opinions probably about who they're voting for, why they're voting. It's not appropriate. The same way we go on TV and we try to thread the line and be as unbiased as possible, but of course off the air, for the most part, we compare news and notes, I think. Especially this election cycle, it's been pretty obvious where people kind of fall. NBC's in a weird place because Trump spent so much time with a very popular
they
show.
They created Trump.
Well, they very
created
popular
his Celebrity, right?
Apprentice. Yeah, they did a lot of work with NBC Entertainment, but he's been on our show a ton in years past, in a different capacity, obviously. So,
people are concerned about your cough.
okay, so let me just tell you about my cough. From the day I was born, I had this like cough. At like 8 days old, if you heard me in another room, you would think, oh, there's a 45-year-old man with emphysema in the other room, and it was really me. Like, I have big, vociferous lungs. I have powerful lungs, and they pack a punch. Guess who else does? My 3-year-old now. So the teacher said to us the other day, your daughter has a very wicked cough. You may want to get that checked out. We're a little concerned. I'm like, she's fine. She got my lungs, her lungs. We're big, hefty coughers. We always have been. Nope, they want us to get checked out. So we went and got her checked out, and I just got the all clear. She maybe has a little virus, but she's nothing. She's totally fine. If it lasts a little longer, we'll get it rechecked again. Thank you so much for caring. I'm sure it doesn't help that it's November 2nd, and I'm wearing a t-shirt, but it's that hot up here on the beautiful, beautiful rooftop in Midtown Manhattan. So thank you for caring.
Okay, so now continuing to plow through as we build up our okay.
Yes, Lance.
There's something here trending about Blue Lives Matter. Last night, 2 police officers were shot.
Oh, in Idaho?
In Iowa. Yeah. So, obviously, that's been a new thing that's going on.
The last 6, 7, 8 months. But hold on, let's pause for yet more sirens as we talk about Blue Lives Matter.
So,
crime happens. I'm not sure what. Look, excuse me. It's that way. We're good. With everything else, politics has found a way to seep into Blue Lives Matter as well, because you have Trump out there touting the restoration of law and order if he gets to the White House, and you have Hillary, who wants to make sure civil rights are okay. I'm not verklempt. I have a little something in the throat, but now it's all clear. Are kept intact, and so you have this great divide, and it's a tricky subject, and I think if both candidates had their druthers, they wouldn't want to talk about it or wouldn't want to address it, but it comes up. I think what happens with Donald Trump is he has sort of painted himself as the guy that will say anything and share his opinion on absolutely anything, abortion, Blue Lives Matter, and otherwise, and you either love him or you hate him for it. I didn't answer the question, but I did a really good job of trying.
Okay.
Yep. A for effort. Boy, there's so much crime today in New York, or maybe things are going downhill pretty fast.
All right. Anne Hathaway's in the news.
Why?
I am trying to figure out.
Hey, one time, we have a morning meeting at the Today Show every day at 10:15. And all the seniors and anyone on air that wants to come in, the executive producers or whatnot, and we sort of quickly recap the show, and then we go around the room, we story pitch, and we go over items that are trending, and it was sort of like a mini think tank, a daily mini think tank. Breaking news. Not that important. Anyway, so one time we went in, and guess who was trending that day? Me. Jenna Wolfe, trending. I had no idea why. So I never really, you said Anne Hathaway, I was trending for no reason.
Well, she was actually trending because at a Clinton event.
What'd she do?
She's saying happy birthday to a guy at the event. That was big news.
Okay, you guys, we need bigger news, because
I'm just going through what's live now.
Anyway, one time in my life I was trending for no good reason.
I think it was the fact that she was at this Clinton rally. So there's not a lot of news, I guess.
All right, so that's good. Let's embrace the fact that there's nothing.
North Turner resigned.
He did? Was he with Denver, or he's not still with the Redskins?
All right, actually, let's go with. So when we do this, I'm going to bring in some of the top tweets on the topic so that we can start. So Adam Rank says North Turner resigns after 2 bad games, yet he didn't mind that he ruined the Chargers for 6 years.
Ah, there you go, Chargers.
Josh Smith's, which is the second most popular, on his way out of Vikings headquarters, North Turner blew right past T.J. Clemmings. No idea. Okay, after I vote. So this is a hashtag. After I vote, I will.
I'm moving to Canada.
After I vote. No, after I vote. What will you do after? I wonder if most people are going to be drinking before they. So.
Oh, the country's going to be wasted by the time results are in.
Right.
They're going to do a million different drinking games. I can't because of the babies and the diet. We're on day 9. Is this day 9? We started last Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Is today day 11?
Today's 11, yeah.
Did I just count on my fingers? Not good. Today's day 11?
Yeah. Sunday was day 8, yeah.
Lance, we're day 11 of 30.
And yet I'm still gaining weight.
You're not gaining... Don't tell people you're gaining weight.
I'm not gaining weight, people. I'm lying to you.
No, but then people are going to think that it's...
I gained weight. I was actually nervous I was going to lose weight, so it's a good thing. Okay. I'm able to eat all of these healthy foods.
Yeah.
Which are obviously...
But 99.999% of people lose weight because...
All right, if your goal is to lose weight, that would be good. My goal was to eat healthy during this process, but like...
I lost 2 pounds.
I've substituted sweet potatoes for M&Ms at night.
So there you go.
So that's probably healthier.
Okay.
So if I had a magic power is another trending thing. Tina says if I had magical power, I would put an end to bullying. This is actually an interesting one. If I had a magical power, I'd bring back music videos on MTV and Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Why did MTV do away? Why do you think MTV did away with?
Because everybody and their mother embraced reality television with such a stranglehold that there was no room to breathe. And MTV got on board, and MTV fell into great luck with Real World, and then saw such success that they decided to round out the rest of their 23 hours of programming with similar programming.
And this is a good one. If I had magical power, I'd teleport Abe Lincoln into present times to run for a second term. Who's your favorite president ever?
Look, I'm going to say this, even though this might be a cop-out. Grew up out of the country. I never really took American history. I kind of skipped it. By the time I took European history, and by the time I got here, for the most part, we sort of already passed it. So my presidential knowledge goes back to Alex P. Keaton being madly in love with Richard Nixon. I remember the Reagan election, vaguely. Jimmy Carter did a lot of work in Haiti, so I remember Jimmy Carter coming down to Haiti. And then there was some Bush, and then there was some Clinton, and then there was some more Bush, and then...
Obama.
Then there was Obama, and that's it. So if that's the pool from which I am choosing, I have to say that whether or not I think, I don't know. I mean, I think Reagan kind of did some good stuff, but there was nothing like the fervor that I found when Obama was gaining all that momentum. It just seemed like it was like a fun time to be a young person in this country. And I don't want no comment on 4 years, but everybody was excited and empowered, and people were going to vote, and you know, it was a president who knew what a tweet was, and it was a president who played basketball and who smoked occasionally, and right, like people were excited, and no matter what was going to happen, it was going to be something different. And I think everyone got out there, and I think what we quickly found is that it's very, very hard to change once you get into an office that is so thick in like cemented tradition that you could be all those things outside of office, but you basically, it's going to be hard for you to bring all of that influence in. Now, was he a fun guy when he went on Jimmy Fallon? The best. But, you know, there were a lot of questionable moves and decisions that he made because, again, it was very hard to get things done. I don't know. That's what I said, and I own
Actually, I'm not going to do that as a poll. I'm going to actually do that as an ask on there.
Yeah, who is your favorite president?
Favorite president of all time. And finally, the last one that's trending. The last thing trending is Charlie Sheen.
Oh yeah, Charlie Sheen has been trying to throw out the first pitch for the Indians.
Well, he is being flown into Cleveland tonight, supposedly.
Because he tweeted that he was mad that he didn't throw out the first pitch?
The story here is Darren Ravel has said that Charlie Sheen is being flown in by entrepreneurs, by Cleveland entrepreneurs, Bobby George of corporate.
Who cares who, but yeah.
Yeah, so 2 entrepreneurs are
flying him in.
I think to be at the game. I'm not sure if he's throwing out the first pitch, but he was in the movie.
Well,
we somehow don't have Major League in
I know. We don't. You know the story, right? He's been pining to throw out the first pitch for the Indians. They don't want him to because he is a Cincinnati Reds fan, and then 2 weeks ago, they saw him rooting for the Dodgers. They want someone who bleeds tribe to throw out the first pitch.
But
he's the ultimate Wild thing, the ultimate Cleveland Indian.
I would imagine that most fans would assume that he's rooting for them if he throws up the first pitch. He's probably not going to come out in a Cubs uniform.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you're a baseball guy. Who do you think's going to win tonight?
I think the Indians are going to win tonight.
Okay.
I think the Indians are going to win tonight, just as I think Corey Kluber is unhittable. I think that they have a rested bullpen. That their bullpen
is in better shape than the Cubs bullpen. Right?
Yeah, like I mean, I almost like the second you go Kluber, and then what's his name is probably going to throw.
Hendricks.
No, what's the relief pitcher's name?
The one that did 3 innings.
The tall guy on the tall guy on the Indians.
Oh,
man, Walker. What's his name? I'm showing my age.
I don't think so.
No, the tall guy.
Anyway.
He was lights out. Indians relief pitcher.
All right.
Anyway, he's as good a pitcher as I've seen in the postseason, and.
But this is the Game 7 that you always see them throw out everyone they've got. You know, like.
Yeah, but this guy, he's gonna go.
My mom will be out there on the mound throwing if they have nobody else. I mean, they're literally gonna throw everyone else.
Clevenger pitched last night.
Not Clevenger, the big guy for.
Jared? No. Anyway, that being said.
So anyway, I think they're gonna bring him, and they have him. They have this.
Everybody.
They have Shaw. They have 3 relief pitchers.
Yeah.
Basically, Andrew Miller. Yes, Andrew Miller. Thanks, John. So Andrew Miller, he's going to come in for 3 or 4 innings tonight.
John, what do you do for a living again?
John, he is the official
Googler.
He's the official man on the Jenna Wolfe show.
Are you Lizzie?
Melanie.
You're Melanie. I had a 50-50 chance, didn't I?
Yeah. My nephew's 4 years old and he has a fever. He woke up with 101 degrees.
Oh,
so she's not able to
okay, that's what we were just waiting for. I didn't know if.
Oh no, whenever you guys are ready.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's.
Great, I'm loving listening to.
You do?
Yeah, I'm from DC, so.
Gotcha.
All the political.
Oh, well, this is I call fringe politics. I don't want to dive in. I don't want to be in it. I just want to be on the outside looking in a little bit and punching my way out, which is sort of what we do. Did John answer?
John is the embassy rep for Canada.
I'm sorry, it sounded like you said you were the embassy rep for Canada.
That's what he said.
Do you think Canada knows that you watch this show for 4 hours every day? Hold on a second. Dear Canada. Dear Canada. John's been watching the show every day.
Oh, he's kidding.
Oh.
He's not the embassy rep.
I don't even know what the embassy rep is. Is that like the ambassador?
I think it's the official. He's making sure
that
for
we're
Canada
watching?
that he's connecting us to Canada.
I'll call Trudeau right now.
Trudeau's doing a good job over there.
It's one good-looking guy.
Tony Kendall was surprised that the Cubs didn't have someone from the movie Rookie of the Year like Gary Busey throw out the first pitch.
Because that would sort of be lost on people. I don't think that many people saw that. What do you got, Connor?
Oh yeah, I don't think we need to.
I know, I'm just...
He was giving me John's.
Gotcha. We're good.
All right.
Is that it?
I think we're ready to go, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come